When an 18-year-old dog goes back to the shelter from whence he was adopted, he acts differently right away. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. Tonic was barking at one end of the room while Alex sat at the other. The dog abruptly stopped barking as though he was tired of having to protect himself. "Tonic, is that it?" Alex said, aware that Tonic was using this as a self-defense tactic. Alex would soon discover that Tonic was the right dog for him. With a plan in mind, Alex went back to the shelter where he initially met his devoted dog after 18 years together. Without the affection and fidelity of his old terrier and the assistance of a stranger, this visit would not have been possible. Like many other canines, Tonic was taken to an animal shelter not long after his birth. He was a tiny black terrier who, for reasons that were never explained, was taken from his mother and siblings, yet he had no idea what the future held. Tonic was terrified while he was inside the refuge. The little canine was unprepared for the numerous frightening sights and sounds of the shelter because it was a tiny dog and unfamiliar with the outside world. He was terrified for his life during his initial stay in the shelter and didn't think he would ever find a place to call home. Tonic was adopted at only a few months after birth. For any shelter dog, this is their greatest chance. But regrettably, his adoption journey would not stop here. A few months later, Tonic's new owner returned him to the shelter to face his destiny once more since the dog was ill-suited to the owner's little children. Would someone give this adorable yet timid dog a home? Tonic's caregivers discovered a few things about him during his second stay at the same animal shelter in Burbank, California. Two things about him were that he was mean to other dogs and other animals, and that he was cruel to kids. It was less probable that anybody would ever embrace Tonic with these constraints in place. This dog had a really tough time during his first 9 months of existence at an animal shelter. While he was friendly with the staff at the shelter, he nipped and growled at prospective new owners who stopped by to meet Tonic. Would any aspiring dog owner be able to overlook his anger? One day, a prospective Tonic owner visited the shelter in search of a canine companion. At the shelter, Alex got to know a lot of dogs, but he was really searching for a canine companion. Many dog owners know exactly what breed or size dog they want, but most of the time, the ideal dog just shows up out of the blue. As soon as Alex walked past his cage, Tonic let out a series of loud barks. In his quest for a dog, Alex had already been to 2 shelters, and it was obvious that Tonic had no interest in him at all. It was obvious that Tonic was afraid of everyone around him and that he wasn't a sociable dog. However, what came next took everyone in the room by surprise. The owner of the shelter inquired about Alex's children and other pets. She felt he would be a wonderful owner for the quiet but affectionate dog that sorely needed a loving home, since he declined her offer. Tonic did something unexpected when he heard Alex's query and stopped barking. Then he dropped to the ground on all fours, bending his rear legs. After that, Tonic crawled the whole length of the room to Alex's seat. Upon arriving at his location, Tonic curled up on his lap and rested his head on Alex's thigh, dozing out like he would for a very long time. The woman at the shelter who had been caring for Tonic said to Alex, "I guess you have a dog now," when it became clear that he had relaxed his guard for someone, maybe for the first time in his life. Had the shelter employee not suggested that Alex meet this dog after meeting several others, Tonic's life and Alex's may have been quite different today. Tonic was still a little timid and scared when Alex brought him home, which was to be expected for a dog who had spent the most of his first 9 months in a noisy, chaotic shelter with no guarantee that his new home would be permanent. Alex was gentle with his new puppy because he understood that his hostility stemmed from fear and loneliness. With double the vitality of most canines his age, Tonic was still in his prime after 18 great years together. In his decades with his owner, Tonic had scarcely aged at all, save from a few gray patches. His timid demeanor quickly gave way to kindness and gentleness. Even his thick fur was coated with stickers, which he relished having carefully peeled off. Alex would frequently remember their meeting with fondness because of Tonic's commitment to him, and soon they would both get to go back to that animal sanctuary, A stray cat once made its way beneath Alex's Californian home's fence. He had no tag, but he was friendly and hungry. It was evident to Alex right away that this cat was a domestic cat and was not accustomed to roaming the streets. He fed the cat and then, without knowing where to look, started looking for its owner. Alex was given a prize when the cat's owner was located. The owner demanded that the person who recovered his cherished cat should receive a prize, even if he attempted to decline it. With this money, Alex just intended to return the favor to the community of rescued animals who had welcomed his cherished terrier into his life. When he phoned his neighborhood shelter, they informed him that they were in dire need of towels, mattresses, and warm blankets. After receiving the award, Alex went shopping to buy supplies and goodies to donate to the animal shelter where he had rescued Tonic, his rescue dog, years before. However, he had no idea how Tonic would feel about going back to his former haunt. The 18-year-old dog decided right away that he did not want to go back to the shelter. When Tonic pulled on his leash outside the shelter, his owner realized he preferred to be outside, so Alex brought the elderly dog inside so he could socialize with the other dogs. Tonic didn't exhibit any indications of fear as long as he remained by Alex's side, despite his anxiety when he first entered the shelter. He trailed along after his owner as he gave food and treats to every dog, cat, and other animal at the shelter. But he was interested in seeing how one part of the shelter, the dog kennels where he had first encountered Tonic, had altered over the last 20 years. Alex encountered Tonic in the dog cages on their final stop on the shelter tour, and she fell in love with him right away. Tonic's eyes were clearly filled with terror as they cautiously made their way through the boisterous shelter filled with barking dogs. The dog's exact cage from all those years ago was eventually discovered. Alex started crying when they discovered the cage where he had first encountered Tonic. What caught me off guard, though, was Tonic's response. Tonic approached his master, still content to remain under his care, just as he had done 18 years before. There is no denying that these two were destined to be together. The gifts that Alex and Meow, the cat's owner, made possible were gratefully accepted by the Burbank shelter staff. These items are necessary for American shelters to care for all the animals who come in and out of their doors. Please don't buy dogs from retailers. Visit and contribute to a shelter near you, Alex said in her statement. They were both reminded of how fortunate they were to have been brought together on this journey to the shelter where Alex originally met his dog 18 years ago. Countless owners would be without their dependable life companions if not for the wonderful work our sanctuary conducts in caring for stray animals, without the shelter staff that looked for Tonic and persisted in encouraging prospective adopters to take him in even after he showed himself to be a fearful dog. His long life would not have been possible. Alex believes that Tonic's good health stems from a consistent intake of raw, organic ground turkey. He is still able to leap 2 feet off the ground at the age of 18. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.